I'm Faisal here, Birkbeck's Academic Registrar, and I'm really delighted to welcome you to Birkbeck's virtual graduation, our first virtual graduation, and to take this opportunity to congratulate you on reaching this milestone in your studies. We know it has been an incredibly difficult year for most of you because of the global pandemic. I'm really pleased that you've made it here today to celebrate and mark your fantastic achievements alongside family, friends, and of course your fellow students. We know that today will be different to your usual in-person graduation ceremony, but we have worked hard to ensure that it mirrors the spirit of them, and we hope that you will feel it does. We'll also be hosting in-person celebratory events for you so that you can meet your classmates and lecturers once it's safe to do so. We'll let you know more about these at a later date. Before we start today's event, we have some housekeeping information for you. Please keep your microphone muted until the round of applause after each group's names are announced. We hope you'll take part in giving a big round of applause to celebrate our graduate successes. You should be able to change the screen on the device you're watching on today. If you can, we suggest putting your screen in presenter view to view all videos and live content in full screen. You can select gallery view if you want to see everyone in your virtual room, but this will make the videos appear smaller, and if you are watching on an iPad or an iPhone, you may need to scroll to another screen to see everyone in your group. We'd like to remind everyone that today's event has been recorded. It is currently being live streamed on YouTube, and the recording will also be available after the event. We'll start today's event with some messages before moving on to the awards. Thank you very much indeed for taking part today, and we hope you enjoy it.
Graduating students of 2020, congratulations on attaining your degree, particularly given the circumstances in which you completed the last few months of your studies. Every student experience is unique, but I think everyone will remember 2020 as different. Whenever I attend University of London engagements, I'm constantly struck by the enthusiasm and energy that you display for your studies, and the range and achievements of your non-academic activities. With the world facing challenges none of us could have envisaged a few short months ago, and at a pace that requires flexibility and innovation, the skills and knowledge that you have acquired while at university are needed now more than ever to help reshape the future for us all. Your institution will support you now and into the future in your endeavours. While you may be missing the formal graduation ceremony this year, I hope you will retain the friends, the experiences and the knowledge you gained during your studies. They will all be part of your foundation for the future. Once again, my congratulations, and I wish you every success as you embark on the next stage of your lives.
Welcome to this graduation ceremony, in which above all we celebrate the achievements of you, our graduates. Those are the words with which I begin my addresses when we have in-person graduation ceremonies around 6 at this time of the year in the Senate House, the University of London. I'm now saying them to you in 18 ceremonies, each of which I'm doing live in order to try and congratulate you in as personal a manner as is possible in these very difficult circumstances. All Birkbeck graduates juggle different aspects of their lives, their families, their work, and their studies. But you have had to do so in an even more difficult and bigger way. Perhaps there have been medical issues. Obviously, there have been problems in work. And perhaps at home, you've had to compete for the kitchen table or the laptop in order to complete your studies. So you have really achieved something special in this very difficult year. I want to, of course, also Thank your partners, your relatives and friends for the role that they have played in assisting you in your studies, perhaps by giving up the kitchen table or the laptop, or looking after the children so that they didn't disturb our student, now graduate, in their studies. So we say thank you to you. But I also have a message for you, and that message is that Birkbeck is for everyone. You too could study at Birkbeck. You could seize back the kitchen table and the laptop. So come and study with us. For the very first time, thanks to the diligence and excellence of our staff, we will be offering a number of courses starting in January, as well as the normal October start. And they are undergoing enrolment now. So you can do that now, or perhaps wait until the autumn. Any student who joins us at whatever time will benefit from the tremendous expertise and tremendous efforts of Birkbeck staff. Our staff have helped you, our graduates, by allowing you to finish your studies online, to take your exams online. And we continue to offer a fully online service in almost all subjects, apart from those which require laboratory experience. So no Birkbeck student is needlessly cooped up in a hall of residence a long way away from home. Instead, they are studying from their homes, studying in a flexible manner which best suits the current situation, as has been the tradition of Birkbeck over the last 197 years. And I ask you, our graduates today, to remain associated with us. Join the Alumni Society, which you'll hear more about later, and you will receive this magnificent mug in order to toast your success at Birkbeck, to drink your coffee or tea, or perhaps something stronger. But equally, remain associated with us and advocate for us. Government has just woken up to the idea, rather too late, of lifelong learning and its role in the response to COVID and Brexit. And it has announced various measures such as the availability of student loans for short courses and a lifelong learning allowance. But it is likely that those concessions, welcome as they are, will be restricted to subjects seen as vocational. We need to argue that everyone who wants to study, whatever their prior qualification, who wants to study further in a short course or in another way, should be allowed to do so and should be supported by a loan from the government. So please join us in that campaign. In the meanwhile, as I've said, today is about celebrating your achievements. You have joined the 197-year roster of Birkbeck graduates. But when people look back on this year in particular, I think they will see you as a very special set of graduates who have had to overcome tremendous difficulties, perhaps like those who graduated in the Second World War, when Birkbeck was the only institution in the University of London to remain in central London and to continue teaching through the Blitz. So you have made a very considerable achievement, which I think will remain with you and be recognized throughout your careers. A number of years ago, I went to a meeting of business leaders and I was introduced as the head of Birkbeck. And one of them said to me, when I see Birkbeck on a CV, I put it to the top of the pile, because your graduates have the commitment that I want in my business. How much more true is that this year when you've had to overcome all the normal problems and all the extra problems of this special situation? On behalf of all at Birkbeck and myself personally, I salute your achievements and congratulate you. Thank you very much.
Vice-Chancellor, President and distinguished guests, I present the following graduates from the School of Social Sciences, History and Philosophy. The MA in Archaeological Practice, Eric Hanby. William Powell, Suzanne Taylor. The MSc in Archaeological Practice, Economic and Social Research, Edita Chehak, Sidine Sunny. The BA in Archaeology, Minghao Sui, Andrew Davis, Paul Minhoff, Abigail Neal. The MA in Classical Archaeology, Gabriella Jeekins, Juliet Samson Conlon, Iro Tagalu Sigilon-Opoulou. The PhD in Classical Archaeology and Ancient History, with a thesis entitled The Culture of Connectivity on Archaic and Classical Roads, Nicholas Salmon. The MA in Classical Civilization, Olga Bezelak, Isabella Blackney, Fulvio De Falco, Ian Sideris. The BA in Classical Studies, Fiona Chaitsevi, Leo Murta, Lucia Svantnevero. The BA in Classics, Lewis Newburn. The MA in Classics, Daniel Addis, Thomas Evans, Alessandra Pelissa, Natalie Prendeville. Can I now ask you to unmute your microphones and please join with me in a round of applause for each other. The BA in Contemporary History and Politics, Ewan David, Gemma Nelson Bevin, Robinette Sterry, Alexander Williams. The MA in Contemporary History and Politics, Atif Ahmed, Jill Barelli, Helena Barton, Grace Bell, Thomas Blunt, Oliver Burrows, Martha Carlin, Simone Cheshire, Jessica Cretney, Anthony Georgiev, Jonathan Legg, Maximilian Lunning, Jane McAleenan, Rena Rabis. The MA in Early Modern History, Verity Bainbridge, Michael Gavin, Adele Lemke, Michele Scopa. And please do unmute your microphones and join with me in a round of applause. The MA in European History, Helen Battrick, David Brightwell, Christopher Frey, Oliver Hutchings, Donald McCullum, Sarah Matthews, Leslie Newsome, Sophie Price, Amanda Rodriguez, Brittany Svensson, Stanislav Varkalov, and Gregory Wilkinson. The Postgraduate Certificate in Gender, Sexuality and Society, Nikolaos Blimidis, Panayota McGee, Efrosini Saku. The MA in Gender, Sexuality and Culture, Sandy Abdelmessi, Virginia Barry, Emmeline Bathurst, Olivia Beckhurst, Grace Carroll, Mary Holmes, Maria Mustak, Lydia Palmese, Christian Pinto Bahi, Sandy Santos, and Angela Ciaccini. And please, once again, can you unmute your microphones and join with me in a round of applause. The MA in Gender, Sexuality and Culture, Catherine Sturgeon, Elisa Mastrangelli, Sama El-Turki, Daniel Morris, Simone Rasmussen, Julia Wilcox, and Lin Zhang. The MA in Global History, Empire, States and Cultures, Richard Filsham, Aon Jeffrey, Katrina Vines. The MA in Historical Research, Rosemary Ackroyd, Simon Atkins, Elizabeth Doyle, Stephen Erity, James Heath, Bernard Ogden, Joseph Radcliffe, Vivek Vasan, and Helen White. And please unmute your microphones and please join with me in a round of applause. The Graduate Certificate in History, David Altaras, Peter Bird, Jessica Bollinger, Michael Bruin, Peter Edwards, Sally Kavanagh, Mattis Lazar, Stephanie Smith, and Helen Stephen. The BA in History: Elizabeth Appleyard Hutchings, Eleanor Cook, Patrick de Butler, Anna de Monchaux, Aidan Dingle, Katie Hanlon, Sarah Hargreaves, Hassan Hashi, Malcolm Eiley, Chloe Key, Luke Knights, Agnes Cormady, James McQuillan, Graham Milstead, Abu Monan, and Hafsa Mughal. And once again, please can I ask you to unmute your microphones and join with me in a round of applause for each other.
Well done, everyone.
Well done. Thank you, thank you. Well done.
The BA in History: Sarah Mulcahy, Rena Paniautu, Sarah Ponder, Eric Skidmore, Francis Spargo, Keith Spicer, Catherine Sugg, Paul Marmont, and Berea Simon. The MRes in History: Carrie-Anne Hansen, Sean Ram, Alan Rose, Edward Shine, Stefano Simini, Nadine Stackhouse, and James Davis. The PhD in History, with a thesis entitled Intimate Invasions, Rape, Race, Age and the Law in California, 1848 to 1900, Caitlin Cunningham. The PhD in History, with a thesis entitled The Captured Mind, Race, Brainwashing and American Film, 1941 to 53, Ian Magor. The PhD in History, with a thesis entitled Selling Food in the Streets of London, circa 1600 to 1750, Charles Taverner. Can I ask you all to please unmute your microphones and join with me in a round of applause for each other. The BA in History and Archaeology: Jonathan Aldridge, Joanna Alves Ferreira, Caterina Britesh Gontalves, William Firth, Imogen Lucas, Casey McRae, Barbara Neoy, Mark Pickard. The BA in History and International Relations: Joel Blewett, Maxwell Kane, Hanan Khan, Sarah Mohammed, Christina Van Osaden, and David Walter. The MA in the History of Ideas: Victoria Belovsky, Joshua Drake, Hoykit Kwok, Kevin Luke, Kieran O'Donoghue, Philippa Seegers, and David Shepherd. Please will you unmute your microphones and join with me in a round of applause for each other. Congratulations. The MA in the History of Medicine, Minds, Bodies and Culture: Eva Srawawi Stepney, Dora Wilcox. The MA in the History of Science and Medicine, Francis Rugman. The MA in the History of the British Isles: John Curran, Erin Fetterly, Jezreel James. The MA in Medieval History: Elizabeth Harvey, Ian Dennison, Sarah Kent, Sarah Larcombe, Helena McNish, Tyler Thackeray. The MA in Public Histories: Thomas Say, Jamie Shelley, Virgil Taylor. And please do unmute your microphones and join with me in a round of applause for each other. Congratulations. Thank you very much indeed for attending this virtual graduation. On behalf of the school and all of our staff, may I congratulate all of you on your wonderful achievements, and I wish you all the very best for the future. And this concludes the presentation of graduates from the School of Social Sciences, History and Philosophy. I'll now hand you over to my colleagues.
President, Vice-Chancellor, graduates and graduands, guests and colleagues. In these times of COVID-19, when social distancing has forced us to move the most significant date in the academic calendar, graduation, online, it is perhaps worth reflecting on some of the other crises that the college has faced during its long history of nearly 200 years. As you already know, Birkbeck was established as the London Mechanics Institution in 1823. It's impossible, I think, to exaggerate just how revolutionary the initiative was. At that time, 1/3 of all men and 1/2 of all women were unable to read or write. But more importantly, British elites were passionately hostile to educating working people. After all, the country was in political turmoil, and it was feared that educating the lower orders would destroy society. In particular, there was moral anxiety. 1825, Minister E.W. Grinfield fumed about the risks of educating working men. He argued that it would be far better that the common people of this country should remain totally illiterate than they should be thus furnished with tools by which they would inevitably work out their own and the public ruin. Educating women was also risky. The London Mechanics Institution was unique because as early as 1830, it allowed women to attend classes. This means that Birkbeck provided higher education for women long before other institutions in the UK. After all, women's colleges such as Queen's College in Harley Street was not founded until 1848, and Bedford College the following year. Now, admittedly, the institution's committee continued for at least 3 decades to debate the propriety of admitting females attending lectures through the front entrance. Nevertheless, allowing women to attend classes was extremely progressive. And that was what was considered dangerous. As one critic complained, mightn't this lead to social intercourse with the other sex, which cannot be beneficial to morality? So, from its foundation, the London Mechanics Institution, Birkbeck, was unique. Crucially, the leaders of the college from 1823 to the present shared one central belief. Birkbeck is about its people, their thoughts and ambitions, hopes and dreams, labours and laughter, hubris and failures. In sum, as we near the bicentenary of our founding, this is the time to celebrate the capacity of a Birkbeck education to help us become fully human and self-fulfilled by learning to use all our faculties: knowledge, imagination, sympathy. Perhaps it is time to resurrect what used to be Birkbeck's anthem. Vita Academa was composed in 1913 and is largely forgotten today. But at the centenary of the college in 1923, it was sung vigorously. The chorus went like this: at the hub of all the world, London surging round us, keep we Birkbeck's flag unfurled, nothing shall confound us. I can think of no better chorus for us today in the midst of epidemic. Today, like those times, we will not only survive, but flourish. You are now our alumni, and we are incredibly proud of you.
Congratulations to all of today's graduates. This is a big moment for you individually, of course, but also for all of you together, knowing that another swathe of students has achieved their objectives and can now face the future confident of their skills. Congratulations too to the academic staff at Birkbeck, who've seen you on your way to today's success so well. Of course, the world in which you're graduating has changed, and we're all learning new ways to live and new ways to study. Well, we're coming to cherish some of the benefits of this inconvenience: better air quality, birdsong, but also more time for books, more silences. The world is not as noisy or as demanding as it once was, so there's more space for introspection about your life, your studies, and the ambitions you have for your place in the world. There's no better time for you to do this than now, when you've learned the habits of study, when you've developed the capacity to be alone with your thoughts, and the skill to seek out evidence and for whatever insights and propositions your studies have led to. Your mind and your temperament have been over the years prepared for just such challenges as this unexpected pandemic is throwing at us. You've already coped with many of the adjustments you need to make to your teaching, and they've been necessary and they've been successful. Now you're well placed to make changes to your lives and indeed to the world. This world, our world, is in great need of new thinking, new ways to organize itself, its patterns of living, its institutions. I invite you to step forward, not just to help those innovations on their way, but to originate them yourselves. The world's needs can be met by your own ambitions and skills. One day, you'll look back and see how out of every crisis, important changes, even revolutionary changes, emerge. We stand at just such a tipping point right now. And you, at the moment of your graduation, are among those ready and able to take up that challenge. So my congratulations again to all of you, and good luck to a difficult but amazing future. Thank you.
Class of 2020.
Welcome to the Birkbeck alumni community.
You might be in the UK or much further afield.
It might be morning, afternoon or evening.
Wherever you are right now, we as fellow members of the Birkbeck alumni community want to send our congratulations to you for what you've achieved.
Completing a course at Birkbeck in normal circumstances is by no means an easy endeavour.
So what you have accomplished is really something truly special.
Today you are graduating, and you should take a moment to reflect what a huge accomplishment this is.
Completing your studies does not mean the end of your Birkbeck journey.
You are joining a community of over 60,000 alumni in over 140 different countries.
So no matter where you are in the world,
you won't be far from a fellow Birkbeck graduate.
There are lots of exciting events, activities, and opportunities for you to stay connected with Birkbeck.
Visit bbk.ac.uk/alumni
to find out more and update your contact details.
We are proud to share this day with you.
Have a wonderful time celebrating.
Congratulations.
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 Congratulations, class of 2020.